Once someone has taught you something, do not believe you have been taught all there is to learn.
BTSW.
Two things about this quote that seems very simple, and for those of you who have been following, you know the rule by now. The simpler it sounds, the more complicated and deep it actually is. So, with this one, I just want to reiterate and take you back to my taking advice video. You can't teach yourself what you already know. You can always learn something new from anyone. Anyway, that's one thing. So the other thing is the wording that I choose in this quote specifically. I said once someone has taught you something, don't believe that you have been taught all there is to learn. Now, I ain't even front. I don't really like the education system, aka the institutions of which we send our children to learn, aka school. I don't really like it. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to school. I would never say that. And I do champion those people that actually do. I mean, I went to school, obviously. So, you know, there are some benefits. But the reason why I kind of fired a shot at that is because you have a lot of people with PhDs and masters and bachelors in these different areas, and they fully and firmly believe that they have been taught all there is to know about that specific subject, not even a full extent of whatever there is to know in the rest of the world. I mean, I'm sure a lot of us have seen Lion King and we know the lyrics and The Circle of Life. You know, they say there's more to be seen than could ever be seen, and more to do than could ever be done, you know, and it's the circle of life and all of that. The point of those lyrics is that you could never know all there is to know. It's literally, physically, humanly impossible to know everything. Which means if someone else was to teach you something, there is a very, very high chance that they did not teach you everything there is to know. Even more so, there is an even higher chance that they did not teach you all that they know. So they don't know all there is to know, but they didn't teach you all that they know already. So that's even less information that you actually have. So it is very ridiculous to even slightly believe, even subconsciously, that you have been taught everything there is to know or learned everything there is to learn. The reason why I said learn is because you can learn by yourself through observations and experiences. For example, in some countries in the Caribbean and in Africa, you can't walk outside naked for too long, basically. Let me just put it like that, because it is humid. It's pretty warm. That's an experience that everyone that actually experiences, they come to learn and understand and know that the sun is hot. Okay? That's something that there is to know. Everybody knows that. You learn that. No one taught you that. You learned it on your own. However, everything that people teach you is not everything that there is to be taught, everything that there is to learn, and everything that there is to know. And as the bonus tip, which is the main point of this quote and this video, is that just because someone taught you something doesn't mean that they have taught you everything that they know. I hate to say it, but it is kind of a human nature to restrict access for other humans. So things like knowledge, we tend to be very selective and selfish with it. We want to only give them what we deem necessary, what we deem beneficial for that person. That person might ask a very general question and we give them a very specific answer. We don't give them all the information, we give them just a little bit. And some of us, we might say, oh well, you know, you just give them a little taste so that they can go and learn for themselves. But that is just a cover-up. We don't really want to give all the information. We want to keep everything for ourselves, or as much of it for ourselves as possible. So, bearing that in mind, every time you learn something from someone else, do not believe that you have been taught or you have learned all there is to learn or to know. Now, you could never possibly know everything, but you should try.